We would like to welcome you to the 2024 UH Innovation Conference, Catalyst for Change, Indigenous Innovation at the University of Hawaiʻi. I'm Juanita Navarro, and I'm very honored to be here amongst brilliant minds. And, I'm sure you share this with me, very excited to digest the innovative ike and guidance that we will all receive today. And I feel very privileged of that. Today, I'll be serving as conference MC alongside my colleague, Mark Arakaki. We are both spokeswomen and spokesmen of the University of Hawaiʻi 10 campus system, so mahalo for having us. It's really a pleasure to be here today for today's conference to really learn more about and connect with the only R1 University Office of Indigenous Knowledge and Innovation, or OIKI, in the country. And I think that deserves a pa'i lima because that's a feat within itself, the only one in the nation. As we build on our kamaʻilio, our conversation from last year's UH Innovation Conference, we continue to recognize and highlight Indigenous ancestral knowledge as regenerative-centered science. Today, we look forward to learning more about how OIKI is supporting community, co-produced research and initiatives that truly uplift ancestral practices, position community practitioners as innovators, and create an Indigenous innovation sector and workforce. And I just want to speak from the heart for a second. As I was driving on the H1 freeway to come to the convention center this morning, the rain was coming down hard, the ua, and I'm sure I'm not the only one, but it made for some kapakahi situations in traffic this morning. But I found myself as I was sitting on the H1, just feeling grateful to call Hawaiʻi home. And I'm sure it's something that, we truly all share. I feel lucky that I can raise my two keiki here in a place where I grew up, in a place where my tutu and her mama and all of our ancestors before us called home. And I turn to that because it's so exciting to live in a time where, as modern as we are, we're turning back to ike from those that have come before us. And it just feels really good. And I don't know why, but the word exciting, hoi hoi, just comes to mind. So I just want to mahalo you, Kamu, Enos, and Vasilis Sermos. Thank you for inviting us to be here. I feel like I'm not worthy to listen to these conversations, but it really is a privilege. And just mahalo nui to you both. So transitioning, we just want to take care of some housekeeping items for everyone. Mahalo again for joining us. The nearest lua, you've probably seen them as you walk down to the lili'u room this morning. It's located at the alawai corner of the concourse behind us. Also, please make sure that you have your parking tickets for the pay station kiosk that's located near the parking garage. Parking is $15 a day. We want to take a moment to recognize our special guests who are joining us today. And if you're here, please, we ask you to ku'ilona stand for us, and we want to aloha you. We have State Representative Amy Peruso. Amy, are you here? Maybe she's stuck in the Kapakahi H1 traffic, yeah? We do have UH Regent Michael Miyahira joining us from Hawaiʻi Island. Aloha, Regent. And also from our Maui Nokaʻoi, UH Regent Ernie Wilson, right at the front. Mahalo. We also want to express our gratitude to our sponsors. Presenting sponsor, the GSI family of companies. Breakfast sponsor, Kamehameha Schools. And innovation ambassador sponsor, Elemental Impact. Mahalo nui to our sponsors. In addition, we want to extend our mahalo as well to the Orchid Lei Company for supplying us with these beautiful lei that we'll see grace us throughout the day to honor our speakers and panelists. At this moment, we'd like to call upon you, Kamuela Enos, our Director of the UH System Office of Indigenous Knowledge and Innovation, to open us up with an opening pule and ha'i olelo to open us up. Mahalo.
No una ya fui canalende ya ki tu apo patio manti o salani manwe lo una o la kai ponanto o ma kun o ma kun o ma kun. Hopefully that's the most serious time I'm going to have today. I was taught to take your kuleana seriously, but not so much so yourself. That pule opening was taught to be one of my kumu, Kamuela Chan, and I don't want to give away the kauna, but basically it asks that when you head into the unknown, you ask for protection, and that the unknown before you is divinely shielded. And those that want to learn how to enter it have to be a discipline of something. So hopefully today is a conversation about discipline. What I'm going to do is just lay out the kahua and the ka'ina, like the intentions of today, and the order of operation to set up our speakers and then step down. So our intentions today, I want to be super clear, is not to claim that we've created the word Indigenous innovation or that it's something that we own, as much as to showcase the genealogy of the idea and the function of the office. Like how are we defining it? How did this get to be? And to showcase like that transparency of what we are here to do and what we are accountable to. And then the ka'ina, and ka'ina is the order of operations, how when designing the day, we wanted to give it an intentional arc. The opening arc will be me and my peer, Kuha'o Zane, kind of sharing about the genealogies of our practices and our families that we hold, that we've brought to this space to set the context of definition. And then we wanted to have the next 3 presentations be about the core office, the core flagship projects that the Office of Indigenous Knowledge has been able to stand up, with the Center for Indigenous Innovation and Health Equity, with all of our hui over there, with the Indigenous Data Hub, under the new leadership of Director Rochelle Robley, with the Indigenous Data Hub behind me, under the directorship of our incredible Kari Noi, and the SOLAB and the Social Innovation Impact under the leadership of Alec Wagner. As these are 3 interconnected and deeply intentional spaces where we show our ancestral practices through the chihi, or piko, is a seat where ancestral practices as preventative health. Like when we start practices, how do we show the rigor of that? And a university, and non-anecdotally, provides the context for well-being. And with Kari and her crew over there, the spaces of how do we bring these practices into contemporary times, where we build tools for practitioners and students, so these organizations that are holding these practices can be economically solvent and provide world-class education for our students who live here. And finally, with Alec Wagner speaking about how the term social innovation exists as a counterpoint to the other types of innovation, but social innovation that drives impact. What does that look like, and how is the social innovation sector in Hawaii thriving because of our indigenous practices understood as innovation are brought forward are thriving? And then we're going to have a beautiful keynote by our peer flying over from Aotearoa, Nikora, talking about parallel projects happening in Aotearoa and how we're using our ancestry to drive our own industry, but own the means of production. And we're really grateful to close with Vice President Sermos, talking about what this office has created a catalyst for, and some of the incredible centers that are being stood up to sit alongside us to collectively create change. So I'll close I wanted to make sure just use this to set intention for today, to an accountability and that we're clear on why we're here, and step down and let everyone else speak to the incredible work that's happening in the community. But mahalo kako all for coming in the rain. Mahalo for the rain. It's a eolono, it's starting makaiki, so it's to be expected. Plan accordingly. Mahalo kako, eola.
Mahalo kamu. At this time, we would like to turn your attention to the screen for opening remarks by UH President David Lassner.
Aloha kako and welcome. I'm sorry I can't be with you, but I'm in Japan this week. As many of you know, I do consider this to be among our most important work, so I appreciate this chance to help launch your day. The UH Strategic Plan, Hawaii's University for Today and Tomorrow, is centered around 4 core imperatives, and I want to highlight just 2 of them now, those that charge us to fulfill our kuleana to Hawaiians in Hawaii and to diversify Hawaii's economy through UH innovation and research. While both may seem obvious, I love that today brings the 2 together. Early in my presidency, I talked a lot about becoming a model Indigenous serving university. And some years back, I met on one pretty difficult day at College Hill with a group of mostly Hawaiian thought leaders. Kamu was there. And I think it was some remarks from Alika Mauna Kea who said something to me along the lines of, it's not just about serving Hawaiians, but having Hawaiian values and knowledge inspire our work. And that really resonated with me. So now I prefer to talk about being Hawaiian inspired, or in the strategic plan we say Hawaiian centered. Terms like Native Hawaiian place of learning capture that. It may not have been a fast pivot, but your presence here today and the work being highlighted shows what we are capable of. For me, talking about Ike Hawaii starts with how humans arrived in these islands. The wisdom, the ingenuity, the innovation of those who settled the Pacific, including Hawaii, was nothing short of astonishing. What they understood about the planets, the stars, the waves, the winds, the seabirds, all ocean life, that observational knowledge enabled them to achieve feats of navigation imagined only centuries later by Westerners who were fully equipped with then modern instrumentation. Those first inhabitants of these islands built a relationship with this place that was also amazing and also grounded in what they observed and learned. They organized around ahupua'a with practices that came to be known much later in other places as watershed management. They developed lo'i to support kalo without disrupting the water flows, and loko'ia to ensure a stable supply of fish. They lived in harmony with the land, their freshwater sources, and the ocean around them, and with each other mostly. UH is now the only R1 major research university in the nation that has an Office of Indigenous Knowledge and Innovation. It's embedded within the Office of the Vice President for Research and Innovation, and all credit goes to Vice President Sirmos. And in the true spirit of innovation, he did not ask, he just created it. And what a success it has been, inspiring us all. This joins UH's other really unique commitments to indigeneity in American higher education. That includes the only freestanding school of indigenous knowledge at an R1 university anywhere in the country, Hawaii Nui Akea at UH Manoa, and a freestanding College of Indigenous Language at UH Hilo. Our Kahakaula o Ke'eli Kolani Hawaiian Language College, Kakaula now draws students from around the world to study indigenous language revitalization. UH and Hawaii are now uniquely positioned to provide global leadership in developing an ecosystem of indigenous innovation and practice in and for Hawaii, but that has global applicability. And while this certainly creates incredible opportunities for novel research and funding, that's not the point. We are committed to the co-creation of knowledge and innovation for and with indigenous communities. And hopefully, that's what being together today will highlight and stimulate for all of you. So mahalo for joining us today, and I can't wait to see the inspirations that emerge. Aloha.
Mahalo nui to President Lassner, and we wish him safe travels home. It's our pleasure now to introduce a wahine who, she just has such a beautiful ano, a beautiful spirit. Joining us from our conference presenting sponsor, GSI Family of Companies, please pa'i-pa'ilima for Juanita, Kanehailua, Wolfgramm.
Aloha, everyone. Kia ora and hafadei. I know we have some friends from Aotearoa as well as Guam, and I have family in both places, so I just had to give a shout out to those that attended, as well as others from other islands and anywhere else in the world. Thanks for coming out today. We're grateful to be the title sponsors. My name is Nita Wolfgramm. I'm one of the representatives here with the GSI family of companies, and we also have some people here from our companies. You guys can raise your hand. Don't be shy because you guys, I'm up here. So, if you learn anything about our company, feel free to come talk story with us. And yes, so we're just grateful to be a title sponsor again. Within the GSI family of companies, there's 11 subsidiaries, and the GSI family of companies is owned by a Native Hawaiian organization called Native Hawaiian Community Development Corporation. And our mission at NHCDC is to support the Native Hawaiian communities, especially with educating and doing professional services within STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math. We got a little fancy this year, so we have a video we're gonna show, but what I really want is I want you folks to really take in what people are sharing. Indigenous innovation. I think it's pretty neat. If you hear something from someone, don't be scared, go up, talk story, and build the relationships, because it might help you folks wherever you are in this world with any kind of solution that you're trying to figure out. And it's always great to make friends all over the place. So if you guys can play the video, and thanks again. And one more thing, the video is showing some of the work that GSI Family of Companies did with the University of Hawaiʻi. And so there's a few projects that we needed to be innovative, and I hope you enjoy that. Have a great day, stay dry, and thank you.
The GSI family of companies are a group of federal contracting firms specializing in construction, environmental remediation, and engineering. For nearly 30 years, GSI has supported complex projects across Hawaiʻi, the U.S. mainland, and the Pacific. Several of our key projects have been in partnership with UH. One of our historic projects took place at Lalamilo.
University of Hawaii provided us with our first opportunity to do research and development work. The study was University of Hawaii utilizing ground penetrating radar on a parcel that was going to be developed for subdivision for housing in the Lalamilo area. We did all the civil engineering design for the subdivision and actually did the ordinance removal when the subdivision was being developed.
One of GSI's most innovative projects was for Hama.
The Army funded the Hawaii Undersea Military Munitions Assessment to look at what potential environmental impacts there were from chemical munitions being dumped off of the South Shore of Oahu during the 1940s and 50s. And since we're already working with the University of Hawaii on other projects, they asked us to support them by performing a lot of the environmental engineering support for the project.
GSI has also done work for the Hawaiʻi Institute of Marine Biology, where we replaced and placed sewer, telecommunication, and water lines under Kaneohe Bay from the shoreline to Coconut Island using HDD.
HDD is horizontal directional drilling. It's a steerable drilling method. It's a trench dish technology, so you wouldn't have to open up the ground to install the utilities. It's not like we can just go ahead and start trenching through the bay itself. We're dealing with Kaneohe Bay. It's a very sensitive area, so that was one of the reasons why we decided to go under the bay itself.
Our partnership with UH has been exceptional, and we are continually grateful for the opportunity to collaborate in supporting the local community, expanding the university's programs, and advancing GSI's mission to uplift the Native Hawaiian community. Mahalo.